designers, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create one of these lovely pouches for yourself. Now let's have a look at the supplies you're going to be needing. These are the list of things that you're going to be needing. Get yourself 2 pieces of these fabrics. I'm using a very heavyweight fabric today, so I'm not going to be using Pellon. If you guys are going to be using Pellon, then make sure you get your Pellon to press onto the back of the fabric in the same measurement. Both pieces are going to be 9.5 inches wide and 6 inches long. You're also going to need something for the bottom. I'm using leatherette today. I just wanted something to bring out the gold in this fabric, and I had leatherette, so why not? Both pieces should be 9.5 inches wide and 4 inches long. I'm using yard zipper today, so I cut 10 inches just to be on the safe side. And you guys are gonna need yourself a slider to go along with that. I'm using black to highlight the black in this, so I decided to go with my black yard zipper and a slide. Now you guys are gonna need to get yourself a cool print. This is the fabric that I decided to use. It's pale pink and it's polka dotted. This will just give it a really nice contrast on the inside of it. But it's a little bit thick, and I wanted it to be thick just to help out with the weight of this because I'm not going to be using Pellon. Aside from that, you guys can just get yourself your scissors, or if you guys use one of these little guys, then that's all you're going to need for now. So let's get into this video. You're going to take one of your top piece and you're going to place your bottom piece right sides facing together. You're going to be putting that underneath the sewing machine, give it a back stitch, and then give it a straight stitch going all the way down. Back stitch to close that off if you guys are not going to be giving it a second stitch. Now I'm going to be doing a flat stitch. Now I want the flat stitch to fall on the leatherette. So what I'm going to be doing is to oil my leatherette because I am using an industrial sewing machine and it is very rough. So if I don't oil the leatherette, it will cause it to pucker. When I oil the leatherette, it makes the stitching goes on very smoothly. There is no puckering and I get really good results. You guys can just wipe away the oil when you're done. Now put that underneath your sewing machine and give it a straight stitch going all the way down. Now you guys, this is what it's supposed to be looking like, and you can see how neat that is. Now you're gonna go on ahead and do that to both pieces. Then you're gonna go on ahead and cut your lining fabric. I normally cut my lining fabric after, and I do this whenever I am joining 2 pieces together because the measurement will alter a bit. You're supposed to have 2 pieces of lining fabric measuring the same as your outside fabric. Take one of your outside piece, right side facing up, and place your lining fabric right side down. Take your zipper and place the right side of the zipper onto the right side of your outside fabric, and then sandwich that with your lining fabric. Give it a back stitch. And then go on ahead, make sure you line up all your pieces and give it a straight stitch going all the way down. Trim up your little threads. Now flip that over. Now if you notice, I'm working on an industrial sewing machine as I said before, which means there are no presser foot present. So you guys are going to get yourself some pins. Now what you guys are going to be doing is a little trick I've taught myself over the years from sewing on an industrial sewing machine. Shift the lining fabric 1/2 inch. Take your pins and you're going to stick the pins in at the very bottom. You don't want any permanent holes that will not be covered by your stitching. So poke it at the end, going right across, 1/2 inch, guys. Now when you're sewing, you're going to constantly push the bulk of the fabric closer towards the teeth of the zipper, because remember guys, we're not using a zipper foot, so you want it as close to the teeth of the zipper as you can. Now put that underneath your sewing machine and gently, guys, give it a stitch. Do not hurry with this. You don't want to miss your stitch. Give it a straight stitch going down and constantly push the bulk of the fabric as close as you can to the teeth of the zipper. Trim that off. Now this is what you should end up with, and you can see how neat that is looking. Now you're going to take the other section, place it right side facing up, and then you're going to place right side facing down. Then you're going to take your lining fabric and you're going to be placing right sides facing down. Then you're going to line up all your pieces, put it underneath the sewing machine, give it a back stitch, line up the pieces again and give it a straight stitch going all the way down. Back stitch to finish off. Trim up. And you're going to repeat the same process as we did before. You're going to be shifting the lining fabric 1/2 inch. You're going to take your pins and you're going to stick it into the very bottom of the leatherette. Then you're going to go on ahead and you're going to do the same thing. For control, you could fold it. It's not that long, so I don't have to keep it folded, but constantly push the bulk of the fabric towards the teeth of the zipper. You want to create that illusion that you used a presser foot, guys. Then you're going to go on ahead and give it a straight stitch. Go slowly with this so you don't miss your stitch. Trim that off. Now guys, have a look at the wrong side. So this is what it will be looking like. So you can see why you end up shifting that 1/2 inch. And look at the right side. It actually gives that illusion like you used a presser foot, guys. Now you're just going to go on ahead and remove all of that pins, because you guys are going to be cutting away that little extra fabric that will be hanging out. So make sure you smooth the outside piece down flat first before you cut, because you don't want to cut and then end up cutting too much off. And just go on ahead, cut that away, because that's unnecessary fabrics that you're not going to be needing. Smooth again and then cut. This is something I taught myself how to do while working on the industrial sewing machine, to create that seamless look, just to give that appeal like I used a presser foot. No, I'm just gonna cut one. What you guys see me doing is just to cut off that little edge. I had cut my zipper a little bit longer. Now you're gonna be sliding your slider on. So what you're gonna do, take the edge that you didn't cut, pop it open, so that gives you space to hang on to while you're sliding your slider on. And you're just going to be sliding that on. Now what you're going to do is to take the slider to about the middle or somewhere near there. You just don't want it in the way while you're going to be doing your sewing. So now you can go on ahead and cut that other piece off. Now you're gonna be folding the pieces together, so outside piece together, lining piece together, but I'm just gonna put that aside, guys. I think at last minute I decided I'm just gonna be putting a little loop in. I have a lot of wristband that I can use with this bag that are already made, so I'm just gonna be creating a little loop to attach it with this. Now this is leatherette, guys, so this is what you do. You fold 1/4 of an inch on both sides, so 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, then you will, so look again, 1/4 on this side, 1/4 on that side, then you're going to be folding that in half, and then you can put that onto the sewing machine and sew it. But I am using leatherette, as I said before, so I'm going to need to oil this as well because I don't want it to pucker. So I'm just going to be oiling the sections that I'm going to be running underneath the sewing machine. I'll just wipe my oil away once I'm done. So I'm just going to fold it again and I'm going to put it back underneath the sewing machine. Now I'm going to be giving it a stitch on both sides. So the folded section, you do that first, and then you repeat the stitch on the other side. Trim that up. Now this is what it's going to be looking like. So I'm just going to be folding it like that and then giving it a stitch going down. So I'm going to trim that up. Now this is what my little loop is going to be looking like. I'm just going to be sticking that into the bag while I'm sewing. Okay, so this is the direction that you put it in. So you put it so the folded edge is on the inside of the bag and the part that you stitch down together is sticking out. Make sure you leave enough room for you to get a good grip while you're stitching. When you're going to be stitching this section, guys, always make sure the zipper is facing downwards. You always want to make sure you pull the bulk of the zipper and stuff going downwards to the bulk of the outside of the fabric, never towards the lining fabric. And make sure you match up all of the leatherette pieces, so the parts that are joined together, you make sure you match up those pieces. You don't want, when you turn your bag over, you see one going up and one going down. So from the get-go, you guys can just get accurate measurements. Now you're sewing all the way around, guys, all the way around. And again, right there, make sure the bulk of the zipper, just like I said before, going in that direction, going down to the bulk of the outside of the fabric, never towards the inside piece. You stitch that going all the way down. Now normally I would have left the opening, but I stitch going straight across. Back stitch. Now I'm gonna go around again. Just for me, I like to double stitch, guys. Now this is what your bag is supposed to look like at this point. So what you're going to do, take your tape measure. You're going to be making some 1-inch squares in all 4 corners. So from where you have your little stitch mark, you're going to be measuring 1 inch. And then you're going to take it and do the same to the opposite side. So you're going to create a little square, and you're going to do that to all 4 corners. So the 2 corners on the leatherette and the 2 corners on the lining fabric. So this is what it will be looking like. You can see all 4 corners. So what you're going to go ahead and do is to take your scissors and you're going to be cutting the little square out. Follow the lines and cut. You do the same to all 4 corners. just like that. And this is what it will be looking like once you're done cutting out all 4 corners. So you're going to be opening those little squares and you're going to be folding them the opposite direction. So just look at how you're going to be doing. Just open it to the opposite direction. You're going to be putting it underneath the sewing machine and give it a stitch going right across. And you're going to do the same thing to all 4 corners, guys. All 4 corners. I'm just back stitching because I like to go a couple times over these edges for the strength. So this is what it's going to be looking like. Repeat that to the other 3 corners. So this is what it's going to be looking like. So that's the lining section, and that's the section with the leatherette. So I'm just going to take my seam ripper and I'm just going to open a little space there. As I said before, normally I will leave the space, but I just stitch across this one. So I'm just picking that out with my seam ripper. Alrighty. Now once you're open, what you're going to do, you're going to push your hand in, feel for your slider, and you're just going to be poking your hand in front of it, and that should open up your zipper. Now once it's open, carry it as far back as you can, and then you're just going to push your hand in, grab the bottom of the bag and pull that straight up. You're going to be flipping this onto its right side. Now once you're done, you guys can poke out all your edges. You want to make sure you get all your edges at this point before you close the bottom of the bag. It really helps to just push your hand in, poke out all of the edges to make sure you smoothen out everything. And then you're going to go on ahead, and at this point I would normally cut out all the little extra from the zipper if it's too bulky. But we're going to be closing our bottom. So make sure you line up the pieces, put that underneath the sewing machine. Now you guys are going to be back stitching. So give that a back stitch. And then you're going to give it a straight stitch. Now I have my own little tags that I normally put into my bags. So that's what I'm reaching for. So I'm just going to stick that right in and then finish up my stitch, back stitch to close it. Now at this point, guys, do all your little trim up all of your little the little threads, tuck that in, tucking your lining fabric, and now guys, you're actually done. But what I normally do, guys, because the fabric is so bulky, and I normally just poke out all the edges as I tell you guys. So that's it. Your bag is pretty much done at this point. I already have a wristlet that I'm using there, so I'm not going to be doing one for this video. But right now, I'm just going to put my little tassel on to the slider. So this is what my bag is looking like. It's so cute. I already had a wristband, as I said. I made this one from before. I'm just going to be showing you guys how it looks onto the bag. So that's it. Now if you guys like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And check me out on all of my other social media sites. On Facebook at Cecilia's Design and on Instagram. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye guys!